Welcome to the Shakedown Sound series.
In this series, we're going to share with you envelope filters by some of our favorite manufacturers.
Join us on this long, strange trip. Today on that Shakedown Sound, we're looking at the Kangra from Walrus Audio, and it is a wild beast.
It really is.
It is an interesting combination.
So I'll say right off the bat, we've done this pedal before. We have a whole episode that kind of dives maybe more deeply into the pedal as a whole than we're going to do today.
Right.
And we'll put a card up here for that. So if you feel so inclined. But it's a strange, wild,
I think I'm not sure how you feel about it now, but I think I'd refer to it as your spirit animal.
I mean, like, as an envelope filter, it does the octave up thing, has fuzz pedal in it, right. All things that I like, but maybe haven't in conjunction, right? So it was designed for
the guitarist from Saturday Night Live,
right? Shaft.
His name is going to pop up right here somewhere.
No, it's not. I'm not doing that extra effort.
Watch the last video that popped up here earlier. And you'll know exactly who it was from, and you'll know all about the design and why it's a bridge and what he's looking at the Himalayas. You'll know the whole story.
Right. For now, we're jumping in the envelope filter. So one of the things we've been asking in every episode of the Shakedown Sound is, can I get the sounds from the Doodah Man? So just playing around, twisting some knobs, this is what I came up with. About different.
Yeah.
Right? So if an envelope filter is not your thing, but fuzz is your thing, octave up is your thing, you kind of like to have one, might be a good route to go. Mm-hmm. The sound from the Doodah Man is there, but it's a little different.
Right.
A little different. There's some things I really like about it. Like I think that chord stuff, it's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Maybe not as much on the single note stuff, but still really cool. Great sounding envelope filter. So let's dive into those settings real quick.
That was your Michael Dolan custom through the Tyler JT22.
Right. Now we're going to the
95 PRS standard 24. I think the 4 position in a stratish kind of setting.
And I will say, much hotter guitar.
Yeah. So Dragon pickups.
You have a sensitivity knob, a res knob, and a frequency knob, and then an envelope switch. And so if you ignore that side of the pedal, we're really talking about the envelope filter. Although the volume knob does seem to be kind of universal to both sides. I think, because we did a whole episode on this pedal, I'm not sure how much time we want to spend here. Let's spend enough to maybe you play the riff, and I'll move some of these things around so you can just kind of get an idea of what they do.
My guess is that you know more about envelope filters than you did when we did this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I think...
Yeah, it was different to come back to it.
Right. I still know the same amount. Nothing.
So, sensitivity, how hard you hit it for it to trip. I had it up all the way for what I was doing. The more you have it up, the more it's going to go. I did notice when we pulled that back with, I think it made more of a difference with your hotter pickups. When we pulled it back, though, you could hear it not trip as fast and stuff. The resonance knob, I had a hard time understanding, especially back when we first did this pedal. A little better now. Although I'm going to say, we've done 19 envelope filters, done tons of research, read people's blogs about what different knobs do and stuff, and I still haven't 100% wrapped my head around it where I feel like...
And we feel some of them are more sensitive to each other based on the pedal.
Right.
They have a lot of interaction with each other, and others can be somewhat more independent. So it's a journey. I think we called it a long, strange trip, I think is what we called it.
So, I do look at it like we've had 19 of them, I think, we've sat down and played with. So where I would say I'm not an expert in what the knobs on an envelope filter would do, I'm not sure how many people have had the opportunity to really sit down and twist 9 knobs on 19 pedals. So I
think you can find a sound a lot quicker than you used to be able to. I think one of the pedals we first got, we're like, we think it's broken.
We're like, I don't get it. Now we're getting pretty close.
Yeah.
So this resonant knob, just real quick, I'm going to turn it all the way down. If you hit a chord and let it ring.
Yep.
Now I'm going to go all the way to the top. So I feel like it's taking the filter and stretching it out a little bit. Interesting, on this pedal, if I click the envelope switch over, what it does is it turns the envelope off, but it leaves the filter on. And I'm going to put the resonance at 50. So the sensitivity knob, there is no envelope filter. It does nothing now, but you'll hear, it's almost like an EQ shaping kind of thing, but it's not, but it is, but it's not. So if you want to play a little bit. So it kind of reminds you of maybe like a cocktail almost, right? Yeah. So it's almost like you're running that sweep of the wah pedal, but it can do some interesting EQ shaping stuff, especially if you were combining it with, say, maybe like a fuzz pedal. And so, like I said, we have this other episode.
Do we have a fuzz pedal?
Yes. We have this other episode. But real quick, because it's on the board, if you cover this up, now you're looking at the fuzz pedal, right? Mm-hmm. And I love the way they laid this out. You have a switch at the top that goes between mids and no mids, more of a mid scoop, I guess. And then you have a modern and a vintage. So let's start. We're going to do this real quick. We'll do modern, no mids, click the mids on, go to vintage, click the mids off, just so you can hear all 4 of those potential sounds.
All right. high octaves pop out, where they always do on these types of pedals.
Right.
Say from here down.
So, a very kind of gated fuzz with the octaves in it.
And I did the volume was wide open too, so I didn't really do the.
And I mean, I like the vintage side. Probably lean towards the vintage mid. Although you were kind of earlier, you were like, we'll put it on the modern side, whatever. So real quick, while we have it in the envelope side, let's click on let you play. We'll leave it where it is fuzz wise. Click on the envelope side and just roll that frequency or resonance knob to show you how you can kind of tweak the EQ.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
There's a few notes in there. So, just cool. I mean, like a whole new, like, kind of palette of options with that.
Right.
And then, of course, the last thing, and I'm just going to, for fear of what will happen to our ears,
Pretend we did.
leave it where we had on the modern with the mid, click it over on the envelope filter. And so your fuzz, I don't know if I said it, but your fuzz is going into the filter. So it's before the filter.
All right. As funky as you want to be.
Right. So it's a whole new, like,
Yeah.
The Signal Path did a challenge where they did weird pedals, and I'm not sure why this one didn't.
Yeah. Could have been the whole episode.
Could have been our contribution to that. I thought it's weird, but I mean
Yeah. Weird's a negative connotation, perhaps. It's not a negative. It's just, it's unique.
it is. One of the comments on the first. I'm sorry, Walrus, that I'm bringing it up, but one of the comments on the first video was something like somebody was like, "Well, gee, thanks. Now I know I didn't want to buy that," or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I watched a few other videos on it, and I forget who it was. One of the guys from Australia. His name's escaping my mind. It's not Shane from In the Blues. Another Australian YouTuber did an episode on it, and he said kind of the same thing. He's like, "Wow, the pedal got here. And I looked at it. It was cool. I plugged it in, and I was like, what is this?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he said he started laying some tracks with it and stuff, and was like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is awesome!" But it took him a little while.
Right.
Maybe a little bit like coffee to a 13-year-old. It's a little bit of an acquired taste.
Right.
If you like Octave Fuzz, if you like envelope filters, it's a really unique pedal. So, and we had it, so we're adding it to the series because
we can't.
We can't.
It was sitting right over there.
So, that's it. Kangra Fuzz, as far as the Shakedown Sound series goes. To learn more, watch one of the other video we did on it. So, anything else?
I don't think so.
The only thing we didn't mention is the fact that you can plug an expression pedal in and then control almost in the filter side, get it to be like a wah pedal. Mm-hmm. You can control it with envelope too, but we did all that in the other video. So
right
there you go.
That way, we made this one really short,
or shorter than it could be. It's about 3 minutes shorter than the other video. That went more in depth.
But go watch it anyway. If you're still with us, go watch it anyway.
All right, so with that, we always like to take a minute. Just thank everybody that's watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking the notification bell, hitting the like button, leaving comments down below, going out to Instagram or Facebook. Anytime you interact with the show, it helps us out. That's why we get to bring cool stuff in to share with you. I Stop by the new website. All the episodes from the series, all the Shakedown series episodes are in one place where you can kind of see everything we've done in the series. And it makes it pretty useful. And a big shout out to our members. We just want to make sure we thank them each time for that, so that extra support that they've given to the show. We really appreciate that. And so with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.
Wow.